If I get a good commercial thing coming in, that's fine. But I won't change the art for the sake of the commerce. My energy goes up with the sun and comes down with the sun.
You're pretty energetic right now for somebody whose energy has gone down with the sun.
Suddenly, both the chief ministers of both the states have took nice decisions helping our film. So yes,
You're energized.
yeah, energized. Insecure, I don't know. I cannot say exactly whether if I'm insecure or not. But fear will always be there with me. That's a constant companion. Fear and confidence. Okay, he switched on a light. Whoa. Because I'm traveling, I don't know what's the how the signal is going to be, but hopefully it'll be all right.
It'll be all right, sir. The cinema gods are smiling upon us. You are here and we are here, and let's do this. So, sir, this session is called Mr. India because
Okay.
you were the first contemporary filmmaker to really break down cinematic borders in this country. Mr. India also because you are in many ways the director as superhero.
You have so many good words for me, Anupama ji, but I'm just a director.
Well, okay. And before I begin asking you questions, you say you're just a director, but first to start, we have Sai Sandeep Gundu from Hyderabad, who has hand posted the RRR poster. So Sandeep, please can we show Rajamouli sir your hand painted poster of RRR?
Hi sir, good evening. My name is Sandeep. I'm an artist from Hyderabad. How are you, sir?
I'm super fine. How are you?
All good, sir. All good. Fantastic. So these are the artworks which I made back in 2017 when your movie released.
Yeah.
And then, sir, I decided to make something huge for your next project. So here, thanks for the film companion, for helping me out with this wonderful opportunity. Let me present to you my handmade paintings, sir.
Okay.
So I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see. Yes. Okay, he switched on the light.
So this one.
That's hand painted?
Yes, sir. This is hand painted.
Whoa, looks amazing, Sai.
Thank you, sir. And let me show you the other one as well.
Yeah.
I hope I'm visible.
Okay.
So this is also handmade painted.
Whoa, fantastic. Fantastic.
I hope I did justice to the characters of this movie. What do you think, sir?
Yeah, great. But the screen is so small, I'm not able to see it clearly. You can bring them over to the office and we can watch them there. Because on the screen, I can't judge, it's too small.
Sure, sir, sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot for this opportunity, sir.
Thank you, Sandeep.
Thank you. So let me start with my question. So you and I met in December, and RRR was of course going to release in a few weeks, and we talked about, you know, it was very exciting. It was a very heady time, and then of course Omicron took over. The film got released again, and absolutely, we're in the middle of a global calamity, and it feels petty to complain about one person's this thing, but so how did you process the emotion of being so close to the finish line and then having the finish line move again?
I tend to not worry too much about things that are not in our hand, and Pamaji. See, Omicron comes in and those things are not in our hand. If it is a shot that is not coming out right, if it's some CG work that's not coming out right, then I'll worry about it because those things are in my hand. I can do something about it.
Yeah.
So these things are not in our hand. A global pandemic is not in our hand. So when there's nothing in our hand, you just wait, nothing. You remember Enter the Dragon? Yeah, when Bruce Lee gets stuck in the this thing, he just sits down and starts meditating. I'm not a meditator, but not as great as Bruce Lee or anything. But if things when are not in my hand, I just let them be.
So the Zen-like expression you have on your face is also internal.
No. It just suddenly came to my mind, and I said, and I'm not a Zen kind of person. I'm very emotional. I mean, volatile person. But like I said, if things are not in our hands, then yeah.
when we had talked in December, we talked about how do you come up with the images that you come up with, and you said, look, there's no great mystery. I want to wow my audience. But I want to talk to you a little bit more about your process. Do you have a specific place where you work? Do you have an hour of the day where your imagination is more fertile than at other times? Is there a methodology to your specific madness?
I'm more of a sunlight person. So I like to get up early in the morning. My energy goes up with the sun and comes down with the sun.
Well, you're pretty energetic right now for somebody whose energy has gone down with the sun.
Yeah, suddenly both the chief ministers of both the states have took a nice decisions helping our film. So yes,
you're energized.
Yeah, energized.
Also, so when we talked in December, we had talked about how, there is a fine line between patriotism and jingoism. And at that time, you had told me that, look, I'm very patriotic, but RRR is not really a film about patriotism. It's a film about friendship, right?
Yes.
But
yes.
Then a few days ago, the song Sholay was released, which is, of course, so much about patriotism. It's talking about freedom fighters and leaders from across the country. What was the decision to do that?
It's a celebration. If you look at the song, it's celebration. It doesn't talk about sacrifices. It doesn't talk about anything about patriotism. If you listen to the lyrics of the song, it's about celebration, finally achieving something that we dreamed for. In the context, it is liberty, but it's a celebration of liberty.
So you're not still seeing it as a sort of patriotic number in that sense.
When we place the story in 1920s and we talk about the characters who are freedom fighters, obviously there is an undercurrent of patriotism for the film.
Right.
I'm not saying patriotism is not there at all. I'm not saying the freedom struggle is not there at all. But if you ask me what is the soul of RRR, I wouldn't say patriotism. It is friendship.
Got it. You talked in an interview about how you're constantly wondering if you're getting it right. You're constantly wondering, have I given it my 100%? Now, you said that fear is always there, which is very intriguing to me, given how successful you are. So, would you describe yourself as an insecure director?
Maybe a part of it is yes. Fear is there. Insecure, I don't know. I cannot say exactly whether if I'm insecure or not, but fear will always be there with me. That's a constant companion. Fear and confidence, both are there in me.
So you have the confidence to take these massive leaps of faith in making these films for years and years and putting in that amount of money. But somewhere there's also a deep fear that I'm not getting it right.
Yes. It oscillates. The confidence and fear keeps oscillating. When I'm working, I'm more confident. When I don't have any work to do, I'm more fearful.
Correct. Okay, I'm going to bring in an audience question here. AJ, please, can you ask your question?
Hi, sir. I'm a big fan of you. Looking forward to watching RRR. My question is, apart from the script, what's the most important thing for you, sir, before a film goes on floor?
I think planning the production and preparing yourself, which we call the pre-production, scheduling, getting everything on paper, pre-visualizing things to go for the shooting, and basically preparing yourself for the hard task ahead.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Well, all the best for the whole team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, one of the things I'm very curious about is that your films feature so much VFX, right? There's so much special effects in your films. But what you talk about extensively is the emotion, that your main thrust in any narrative is emotion. How do you balance special effects and emotion?
Yeah, I never thought of the emotion and the technology part as two separate entities. In fact, the visual effects or sound effects, the camera movements, the re-recording, all these technologies are there to enhance the emotion.
Right.
I don't I don't see as two separate things to balance them.
We have a question now from Aritro. Please ask.
Sir, I have a question regarding the action that you do in your movie. Sir, I will be, the question is a bit bigger. Sir, I will talk about a scene from Simhadri where the junior NTR character times he beats the gang of Rahul Dev. So when the action begins, when the junior NTR character walks in, so we don't hear any BGM there. We only hear the ambience and we see the foot shots where he's walking through the mud and all. And after that, when he kills the first guy, the BGM kicks in. Then the action takes place. In Chhatrapati, you get one level ahead, like when the boy gets hit, Prabhas comes and everybody's silent. Then the BGM comes, the camera rotates from the head to toe. And in the between of the action, again you stop, the BGM goes away and Prabhas is getting from the villain guy. And then again he gets caught, which is thrown by his brother. And then he again hits. So it's beautifully done. So I just wanted to know how these action scenes are staged. Like it is done on the script level, or it is done during the shooting, or it is your idea, or the action director like Peter Hen, he gives the idea, or what is the thing that you do in the editing? Can you please explain us that, sir? Thank you so much. It's a big question. Sir. Sorry.
Thank you. Thanks for the question. The way you're mentioning the build up to the action sequences, I am heavily inspired by Mel Gibson. In fact, Simhadri's NTR's entry into that sequence is straight out of Braveheart. The situations might be different, but it's the same thing. But not just the sequence, the way Mel Gibson stops the movements, stretches that particular movement to its maximum level, and suddenly drops all the emotion onto your face. That style I like very much. I am heavily inspired by him. So I like that. I love that kind of filmmaking.
So, sir, I want to ask a question. It's very interesting to me that I read an interview you did where you said that you're actually an atheist. But your cinema is so much about myth making. You know, your heroes are like gods. So I wonder, does your personal belief ever contradict your creative vision?
No, I don't. I tend not to mix those two things together. My personal beliefs are my personal beliefs. And I do whatever is needed for the film to be to the best that it can be. So I don't mix those two things together. My personal beliefs are my personal beliefs.
So would it be correct to say then that your cinema is not necessarily a reflection of what you personally believe?
Yes. Yes. What you said is right.
Got it. Okay, and you also speak about how your creativity and sense of drama originates from the Amar Chitrakatha comics, which you were introduced to by your father when you were 7 years old. But these stories also are sort of simplistic in their division of good and evil. Is that ever a challenge for you when you're trying to make characters who are more nuanced than just this very simplistic black and white?
No, it's not at all a difficult thing for me. That comes naturally to me. But again, I believe your characters can be black and white. Your characters can be gray. But ultimately, that is not what's going to enthrall the audience. That is not going to connect to the audience. No, what connects is the drama that you derive out of it. Sometimes the gray characters, you derive the drama out of it. Sometimes black and white characters. Sometimes two good characters. The conflict between the two good characters gives you more drama. So drama is more important rather than how the characters are.
Got it. We can take a question from Parth then. Parth Bagul.
So my question to sir was that, see, in nearly all of your films, you have written your screenplays. So do you believe that if the same person does the job of direction as well as screenplay, then the 100% of concept representation or the representation of that say can be done?
It doesn't matter. There is nothing like it. Actually, my father and me, both of us write both story and screenplay. So we just divided, okay, story is yours and screenplay is mine, but we both of us work together. And screenplay, it doesn't matter. The screenplay, you can write the screenplay, someone else can write the screenplay or the story for that matter. It doesn't matter. It is ultimately how, as a director, you visualize that particular story and screenplay and how you present it on the screen. That's what matters.
Okay,
So, sir,
okay.
you don't feel like more of a connection with the narrative if you've written the screenplay? That's not true?
No, ultimately it is ultimately how you feel about that story. Whether we write it or not, it doesn't matter.
Okay, one question from Malika Srivastava. Please, can you ask?
Have you ever thought or planned to make a slice of life kind of film, a light-hearted film? So, what's your take on that kind of film?
A slice of life film is different from a light-hearted film. Slice of life films I am not too much interested in, but light-hearted films, yes, I like them. Mm, the maximum light-hearted film that I made was probably Maryada Ramana. That's the maximum extent that I can go.
That's as light-hearted as you get.
Yes.
Sir, you talked about how in RRR, you did not think of the image of Tarak or of Charan or, this massive persona that the two of them have when you made the film. But did you have to be mindful of maintaining a balance and sort of telling yourself that, okay, I can't be partial to one? Did that ever happen?
The images of the stars are important. That is what brings the audience to the theaters, and they want to see the stars in a particular way. I'm mindful of that, but I also know that if the characters are written so strongly, even if you go against the image, the audiences are not going to mind. And it is not that I want to break the image and do something different just for the sake of it. If the drama, if the content of my scene demands that their action or their performance or their character, whatever, has to go against the image to enhance the drama, I'll do it.
But did you have to balance between the two actors?
I have to balance the empathy of the audience towards them equally. That is what my main job is. Not in terms of how much screen space, how much fights, how many fights do they have, how many songs do they have. That's not the kind of balance that I looked at, but I looked at the empathy that the audience have for them by the end of the film.
Right. So you're balancing the emotion and the empathy, not footage.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, we have a question from Swadhin Patel.
So my question was that when you are writing a character, it goes through a series of feedback, and when an actor reads that character, he may develop his own perception. So how much that influence on paper level?
That is the beauty of the filmmaking. You create the story in your mind in a certain level, and not just the actor. When every technician comes in, they keep adding to your narrative. They keep adding to your vision. As a director, that's a constant. Director is a watchdog. He constantly needs to see that the contributions are helping the film.
So when you were asked that if you had all the freedom in the world and could make any film without financial or creative constraints, what would it be? You said the Mahabharata. Is there a fantasy cast you have in your mind for this Mahabharata?
No, I haven't thought of it, but when I know I need the help of many stars to come into the movie. But at this point in time, I'm not thinking that way. I'm not thinking. I mean, casting is way too way too far. That's always there in my mind. I just need to upgrade myself to be able to direct Mahabharata. But yes, definitely that is there always on my mind.
Okay, I cannot wait to see Mahabharata made by you. We do have Vinay who got left. So one last question, Vinay, please ask. And so is it possible to put your camera on? You think?
Yeah, I'm just thinking everything might go off. Okay, I'm just starting the video. Let's see what happens. Okay.
When you have to make a decision on a scene, I mean, like, do you choose with what your mind says, or do you choose what your heart says? I mean, mind would say like to decide on the logistical purposes like that, and commercial purposes. I mean, your heart might say, I mean, what you like. So what will you choose?
I got the question. See, on a larger level, there is not much of conflict there. It is always film is a combination of art and commerce. But I am very clear in terms of now the art should lead the commerce. So it is always the art first, and for that particular artistic purpose, if I get a good commercial thing coming in, that's fine. But I won't change the art for the sake of the commerce. So that's how I work. But the constant battle will be like, say, sometimes I'm not satisfied with a particular shot, and I need to go again and again to get the shot. But going again and again to get the shot will be affecting my schedule, which in turn will affect the cost of production. So that is a constant battle. Where do I stop? Where do I put an end to saying, okay, this is okay, I need to go forward, and also need to complete the schedule or the shot or the scene or the film. So that is a constant battle that goes back and forth.
But art always leads commerce. That's wonderful. That is so good to hear from you. Any aspiring filmmakers in the crowd, please remember that. Words from the master, art before commerce. Sir, thank you so much. This was such fun despite all our issues. Good luck for RRR. We're all going to be there first day, first show.
Thank you, Anupama ji. Thank you everyone for joining in, and I apologize once again for not being able to come on time.
No problem. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.